Warning, the following episode of Boots on the Ground contains mature language. View at your own discretion.
Yep, I'm good now. Had to get my little dance in.
Okay, it is the 10th of August 2013, and this is Boots on the Ground episode 14. It's been a while since we've done a show. That was because I've been really busy with stuff in real life, and I just needed a break. And I'm actually going to need a break again because I'm not doing another show for like another month after this one. But I figured I'd try and get this in while I could, so hopefully you enjoy. My name is Gimbal B, and joining me tonight is DS the Drunk Heavy. How's it going, DS?
I'm hungover from drunk night last night. Still, it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we were meant to actually start the show a while ago, so hopefully you're a little less
It's
hungover than you
probably
were then.
yeah, it's probably a little bit better because earlier I felt like my stomach was gonna come up through my throat. So good.
Well, throwing up, man.
No, it felt like my entire stomach was gonna come up through my throat, like a shark or. Isn't there a shark that does it? Anyways,
That's kind of hot.
yeah, you would say that.
Here with her weird fetishes again, and also slightly hungover, is VD7. How's it going, VD?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Although I have a bit of a headache today, and Nova and Kane were supposed to come on, and I had a really good Nova Kane joke to make, but alas, I'll just have to deal with the headache.
Should put that in the Skype chat. He might come in just for that joke.
I would require both of them to come in, and Kane hasn't been around, so just whatever. Anyway, how's it going, DS? Well, not DS, Danny.
I'm good.
Are you sure this was a headache and it's not some sort of cerebral aneurysm or something like that?
I don't know, man. Let's just keep going. How's it going, Danny?
It's going well. Like I say, it's been a couple of months since I was on, but it's going very well for us at the moment.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit to talk about, and I just really want to go over like what's been happening over the past. Oh Christ, has it been like 6 weeks now since I've done a show, something like that?
Something like that.
We've had a queue. Did we even have 1.2 then? I don't
Yes,
even know.
we did
Just.
one for
Only
1.2.
just.
We might have been talking about 1.2 last time. I can't quite remember.
Then
But
we talked about the 1.3 patch notes.
cool. So yeah, I mean 1.3 happened. Not a huge patch, but I'm kind of wondering how people feel about like how that all went and how the game's changed since then. You want to jump in?
Well, I mean, certainly with the Flaylock nerf, that's been a lot better to play in. You know, you're not having to. As soon as you hear that noise going, oh God, we're doomed. So, especially the core one. But no, the 2 or 3 little fixes that they did, they seem to have worked out in terms of the balancing of the Flaylocks and the. Was it the grenade one as well? We've had the grenade
Yes.
contact, yeah. So that seems to be making the games a little bit more balanced and less of a just explosion fest. The other stuff, you know, it seems to have worked out well enough. I mean, the whole plan, wasn't it, that was going to be the first of the builds that they were going to do with the new monthly iteration plan, and it seems to have worked out quite well for them. And the fact that it came out 3 weeks after 1.2 was also a plus. You know, that's within the same calendar month. If they can keep that sort of momentum going, and I've heard that they're aiming for the next 6 months of this monthly cycle pattern. So that'll give you some idea, I suppose, when the next major build, when the next version will be out, Christmas. Then yeah, it's going on. I enjoyed it, so I'm kind of looking forward to 1.4 now.
I know DS, you were using. I think you're using Caldari Logi on your
Yep.
alt.
Yeah,
Yep.
you weren't happy.
So how do
I
you
could
feel
tell.
about the Caldari Logi changes?
The CPU nerf is what hit hardest. Because not only did I lose the HP from the what shield extender bonus they had, but I also now have to run a CPU mod, and that takes away a low slot. And even with the CPU mod, for me to run my advanced equipment, I have to like drop a tier on my shield extenders. Hold on just a second, I got a cough. All right, sorry, but yeah. So I lost more HP than I originally thought that I would lose. But it did make the Caldari Logi more balanced, I believe. It's kind of on the same tier as the others now, and there's definitely perks to using each of the races now instead of just, if you don't go Caldari Logi, you're an idiot. So I think it was good. My advanced suit just got totally smashed. A lot of the people, like on the forums especially, talk about proto suits primarily when, I'd argue that more people run advanced gear than, the proto suits. So, yeah, I think they need to look at the advanced gear more than they need to look at the proto in the future. And that's about it on that, I think. Playlocks are normal now. I think the game itself is just about as balanced as I've seen the game as a whole, because I came in Chromosome, and that's when the Visium was OP, and then Uprising dropped, and it was TAC ARs, and then TAC ARs got nerfed, and it was Playlocks. So now people say mass drivers, but I don't see them as much as I was seeing the TARs and the Flaylocks, so they're not too much of a big deal right now. They could use a little bit of a tweak, I think. I don't know exactly what, because I don't use them, and I don't really like to talk bad about a weapon when I don't know exactly how it feels. And it's also a skill weapon that you actually have to use correctly for it to be effective. So yeah, like right now, I think the game is, on its way to being like really balanced. I just hope that the changes that they do in, I think it's 1.5. Is it 1.5 that's going to be the infantry changes? Or is it going to be 1.6? Is 1.5 vehicles?
I think 1.5 is vehicles, maybe. I think
Okay.
1.4 they're doing a bunch of stuff with quite a lot of weapons.
Well, whatever the next infantry update is, I really hope it doesn't mess too much up with the balance, because right now, like I said, it feels really good playing. I'm getting killed by scrambler rifles, I'm getting killed by SMGs, I'm getting killed by ARs, I'm getting killed by really every type of weapon. So yeah, like just seeing that and not seeing, like it was when the TARs were ridiculous, 9 out of 10 on the kill feed were TAC ARs. Having variety has definitely helped the game, I believe. Makes the replayability a lot higher, in my opinion.
Okay, and VD, what are your thoughts on it so far?
I don't have any thoughts on it.
You are a great guest.
No, honestly, like the nerfing the Caldari suit didn't affect me at all, because I generally run in blueprint suits, to be honest with you. So even when I do run with my advanced gear, I run with my blueprint equipment, so it didn't affect me at all. Not everybody has to run in like proto gear to have over a 1.0 KDR, so I play the game to have fun and not pub stomp people. I have noticed there's a bit of flux of mass driver use lately, though.
Yeah,
like the
but
new thing that people are complaining about.
Yeah, well, they'll complain about anything, but I think the mass driver's pretty much balanced. It could possibly do with a slight nerf to the splash damage area, but other than that, the mass driver I think is working pretty well. It just seems that people are using them to replace the Flaylocks.
The Flaylocks, yeah.
Yeah, because the Flaylocks are roughly where they should be now, and they just like the whole area effect of that kind of weapon.
Not having to aim too much.
Yeah, because obviously, no skill. But that's just my opinion, being an AR user. But yeah, like they say, I agree with DS. It's as balanced now as it has been for about 3-4 months, until of course they screw something else up. But we might only have to wait a couple of weeks to find out what that is. So, but yeah, like I say, it didn't really affect me very much because I'm an AI user and I always use assault suits anyway. So because that's what I've skilled up in, because that's the
I will
kind of
mention though that like the only change that I have a serious problem with is the Academy Warpoint change.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
Yeah.
forgot
can't.
about that.
Have you guys seen that video by gamer girl Biot? And she goes into a match after getting out of Academy, after like her first game, and she's narrating how awful the game is for her and how it makes her never want to play it again because she doesn't understand what's happening. And it's pretty terrible. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be like that playing the game now after getting out of Academy after like 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's. Isn't matchmaking going to come in 1.4?
Matchmaking is coming in 1.4. Nullarbor has been busily punching numbers into a calculator, as far as I know. That seems to be all he talks about on Twitter. So it'd be amazing if he managed to nail it on the first release on 1.4. I suspect he probably won't, and there'll probably still be a bit of balance into it. Although all credit to him if he manages to do it in 1 point release, that'd be great. So as I understand it from the explanation they gave, it's going to be a combination of the matchmaking with the Academy Warpoint balance that's going to make it work. Although why they had to couldn't wait to the Academy till the matchmaking came in, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
what I think.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense because the way it is now, you get out with like 2 games under your belt if you're a terrible player.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, 400 war points. I fart that just coming out of the MCC.
Yeah.
So
You hack the objective at the beginning or
Yeah.
during the game at all, and there's a quarter of your war points needed to
I know you just
graduate.
exactly. You just
All you know is,
drop
you run
it,
up to stuff and you hit the circle button. Okay, you don't
Yeah.
understand, that this turret is different than that turret, or the different kind of game modes, or where some decent spots are. You don't have time to really explore all the maps because you're only going to most likely end up with 2 games if you're a bad player.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anybody
even-
that has FPS experience can get out of. You can get more than 400 war points.
I mean,
in-
they
in
said
a
the average
academy.
is 100, and
I
even
wanna
then,
see that
like
data.
even then, like 4 games using your own data, like it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I can understand them
Are
not
they
wanting
pulling that data from like people who stop playing it because they play one game and they don't like it, so they quit? Like, where is this coming from? I don't see where the median would be 400.
The median for people that played in academy just was 100 war points. And I've
Oh,
been
I'm
in
getting
academy
robo voice there.
matches.
Sorry.
Okay. Am I good?
Try bandwidth you. See if that helps. Okay. Try again.
I forgot what I was talking about. I'm too hungover to focus. something.
Like the whole worrisome thing for me is obviously as CEO of a training corp is the whole new player experience doesn't exist. There isn't one. Let's be brutally honest. And I like the idea of the academy, and I was asked for some feedback on it before they brought it in. But I would love to see the data that they've got for this 400 war point thing. I just don't see it at all. I can understand possibly why they've done it because, let's be honest, there was lots of people who were just creating a new character so they could go back into the academy and stomp on people, with their better knowledge of the game, not rather than their lack of, their skill books being up to a certain level and stuff like that. So I think that might be why we're seeing this lowering of the war point allowance. But I just can't understand why they brought it in before the matchmaking. If it's supposed to be in tandem with the matchmaking, unless they needed some sort of data feed just for the tweak the matchmaking. But still,
Yeah.
It just seems a little odd the way they've gone around it.
Yeah, my alt was originally just a training alt. I'd go in there and I'd be with like one or two other people from the corp, and we'd say something to team chat like, "Hey, join the squad. If you have a mic, I'll talk you through the game. Blah blah blah. Teach you some stuff." Um, and that went pretty well, and I actually ended up liking my character a lot. So I didn't feel like starting over again. So I just kept it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are people that go in there with good intention, but in this whole neckbeard universe that people just go in and do whatever they can to just smash.
Some men
That's
want
what
to
it
watch the
is. I
world
mean,
burn.
I don't know. I'm an FPS player. I'm not a Eve guy. I don't care anything at all about Eve whatsoever.
If
And
you
like
really want to do like appeal to like first time, go ahead.
the whole
Sorry, I
Eve
didn't mean to interrupt you.
culture, yeah, the whole Eve culture leaking over into Dust as a FPS game is kind of bad. I think I don't think I don't know. FPS players on consoles are completely different than PC players, as far as like personality goes. Um, PC players are normally more vindictive and crude. Um, I, and usually, I don't know, they have this whole PC master race bullshit
Yeah, they do
ideology.
have that.
So, I don't know. It's not good for an FPS. Because CCP is trying to market towards the Battlefield 3 audience, the Call of Duty audience, the Killzone audience. But whenever you have all these elitists in your game, it's just it doesn't work. So I don't know. Hopefully the matchmaking does help with that a little bit too. So you can have all your tryhards over in tryhard land, and the people that want to actually play. Sorry, I went on another rant about the community. You're supposed to stop me about that.
No.
No. It's always just entertaining to watch you do it.
There's really just a few people that I can't tolerate. But
Yeah,
that's
like,
same with
there are
yeah.
people who just. I'll be glad when some people aren't in this community anymore, which is probably not a nice thing to say. But I mean, like, there was a period of time for about 5-6 months where I would go into ambush matches, and there would just be people from certain corporations, I won't name names, who would just have proto tanks or tanks with proto gear on their tanks and just full proto suits, and they'd just be stomping people, and they would do that for about 8 hours a day. And like,
See that doesn't really bother me too much because that's every player's right because there is a ISK risk involved. I don't really care too much about people using proto gear. I know a lot of people do, but with matchmaking, that's going to most likely change if it's SP oriented because it takes pretty good amount of SP for you to get into your proto suit and your proto slots, and everything, So it's I don't know what I'm trying to say. The established player base isn't going to be able to do what they're doing now, and
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, they're
I'm
gonna
talking
have
more about
to have a challenge now.
personality-wise, the whole elitism thing. It doesn't. I mean, it kind of carries over to the game, but these are the same people that make the 10 different alts and go in and just smash kids in academy and act like they're Jesus and God's gift to the dust, when really they need to go outside and pick some strawberries or something.
Yeah, go outside. The graphics are really good.
I actually had a really good idea for how to like train people in academy forever, which was like you just use active scanners because you don't get war points from them, and you're just like teaching people. Love to do that at some point. But
And they
all
get
my
spoiled.
alts, none of my alts have little enough war points that I can actually go back and do academy anymore. So I'd love to do that at some point, maybe somehow.
That would be pretty fun.
I mean, I came up with the idea in the forums that they should have designated players like GMs with SP truncated characters and with that don't gain war points, that just hang around in the academy and say, hey, they'll say in the team chat, squad with me, they'll send squad invites out, just that's, I would like to do that.
They could hire me.
Yeah, I mean, you just give me a character that doesn't gain war points.
Oh no, I'd require some money for it. I'm American. It's all about capitalism.
Yeah. Us over here with our pesky socialism. Damn.
VD, what are your thoughts on the situation?
On what situation?
Thoughts? Exactly. You're not even paying attention.
Yeah, I am.
You are like, oh man, you're such a great guest.
Hey, I was actually sidetracked because I was thinking that CCP has put some thought, obviously, into getting new players started in the game and educating them on how the game works with tutorials with the academy and stuff. But what I feel like they're really missing is a single player training mode. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those of us that came from MiG or even Call of Duty, the first couple scenes of the movie where you're playing is push X to jump, things like that, or and they don't have that here, and I feel like that's something that's missing in the game, and I think it's something that's really important that new people would be able to learn better what the game is about.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what that little time attack mode was. I think it was in Black Ops, the first one, and it's kind of like a little miniature kind of obstacle course thing. You start your time and you have your weapon and little targets pop up and you shoot the targets and you have to jump over stuff and then melee stuff. I don't think that would be too difficult for them to implement. I think it would actually look kind of cool. And they could even make that into a extra kind of game mode, like a PvE kind of thing, where you try to get your best time and you can earn SP up to a certain point or something. I don't know. I think there's something they could do with that, and that would help people at least learn them, button layout, so they're not I don't know, aiming with grenade
or
button
even
or
what
whatever.
hacking this objective does. Do you know what I mean? If they go up to an objective and they hack it as part of the training process, you can explain now that you've done this, this is what it does, instead of going through those pages and pages of tutorials that I just click through. I understand the game obviously, but I didn't read any of the tutorials. I was screw this, I want to play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I use the tutorials for is the would you like to hear more? Because I love Starship Troopers. I love the
Yeah,
film.
I was gonna say but
Every time I hear that,
Starship
I'm
Troopers.
just yeah, Starship Troopers reference, and I don't read them. I don't turn them off because I just like hearing them. Would you like to learn more?
God, that annoys me. I turn it off as soon as I make a new character. I'm just nope, I don't want to hear more.
That's the nicest that lady sounds in the whole game, by the way. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but she always sounds very mean.
She says some really creepy stuff as well.
Yeah, she does.
Suicide in public areas is not allowed.
It's it's prohibited. That's it. Suicide in public areas is prohibited. And it's well, thanks. I needed a PSA for that.
Or your recognizance to fight has been noted on your profile. She sounds kind of mean when she says that too.
Yeah, evil bitch.
Yeah.
It's VD in space.
Oh no.
Just kidding. Anyways.
But it'd be interesting to know what they're going to do with the new play experience, because that's the one thing that's sadly lacking at the moment. And we try and do our bit, but people have got to know about us first of all.
Whenever I hear people talking about Dust and because I go onto our games and sometimes a Dust thing will pop up in there, and I'm just join Dust University, because that's the first thing you should do when you play Dust.
Yeah,
because you guys are actually there to teach people.
Yeah, and we'd like to do it better, but obviously the whole Corp UI thing, it's all fucked.
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but like I say, another boring Foxfire have been teasing me on Twitter about Corp changes that are going to come in either 1.5 or 1.6. But they won't give me specifics.
Corp taxes.
Well, we know.
I'm kind of
Cortex is-
excited about court taxes.
Well, not as
Make
excited
me
as
a
me because
director.
with 1,700 people, all I have to do is put 0.1%, and I'll just be richer than anyone within the first week.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be a director of some corp and steal all their money. No, I don't want to get my bank account hacked into by some neckbeard guy. I love that term. God, I love
I was
it.
going to ask, where the hell is this come from? Is this like some anti-George
It's South
Lucas
Park,
thing?
wasn't it?
No, I hate.
It's a Reddit 4chan term
Oh, right.
used to describe people who can't grow beard here, like can only grow it down here.
Like where Gimbals is at.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Although I shaved all of this off. That's my excuse.
No, there's some that I could tolerate, but like 97%.
Wait, at least they can grow beards.
You know what? I'm in the military.
She's bringing the
can't.
whole conversation down
No.
again.
Right. We're gonna go back to
Edie,
1.3.
I'm not jealous that you can grow a beard and I can't.
All right, 1.3 gimbal.
Right. So I mean, there's a couple of other changes, which was like the contact grenades got changed, and they made
Thank
Thuckers
God.
not suck anymore. I don't care what anybody says. Thucker grenades were terrible.
Yeah, I don't spend money on any weapons, so no comment.
Okay. But I mean, like, how have you noticed people like even using contact grenades anymore? Because
Yes.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
laugh
yeah.
at them.
Yeah, they're still there, and they chuck their one contact grenade at you, and then you can imagine them getting very riled when your reasonably well tanked assault suit doesn't die. So, you know. So,
And then you can throw your 2 grenades at them.
and then I
and
can,
kill
yeah,
them.
exactly. I can throw my 2 basic grenades at them, and then pop them in a finish them up with a shot to the head. You know, so. Yeah, they are still there, but everything they did with the flaylock and the contact grenades has worked, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
And
I
I don't
mean-
think they overdid the nerf on any weapon.
Yeah, I think they got
which
it
is
just
crazy
right. They got it just right.
Because like with the laser rifle, they just kind of kicked it in the nuts and was like, you suck now. So
Although I've
There's gonna
seen,
be some changes for the
I've
laser
started,
rifle coming out.
I've started
Yes,
seeing some
they're
again.
putting the sight on it again.
I actually tried using one the other day, and I found it was an alright weapon. It did decent damage. I had no idea where the fuck I was supposed to aim the thing at though.
Yeah, that's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because I was just like, well, I have to fire for a bit at someone before I actually work out where I'm supposed to aim to hit them. Is probably the biggest weakness of the weapon right now.
Yeah.
Lorray actually just did a video about using the laser rifle effectively. I don't know if you want to go check that out.
I have to after this.
But he's also using the proto he's using a Visium, and he still didn't get a crazy amount of kills. I mean, it's not as effective, near as effective as it was.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But-
it used to just kill heavies in a second. So.
But lasers are still far inferior to ARs and scrambler rifles, and everything's inferior to my forge gun. So,
Obviously.
VD, what are your thoughts?
Oh no, don't do that. I was the one who brought up the laser rifle.
I
I'm
know.
excited for it to have it. I actually really like using the laser rifle because I do like standing back. I have two suits that I really use, and one is the AR, so I can stand back from the fight. And then I have a CQC proto shotgun scout suit. And I miss the laser rifle. I really like just hanging back and picking off people slowly one by one. And I think that having a sight on it again is really going to make it a weapon that I'm going to want to use again.
I wonder if it's going to have the weird tinge that the scrambler rifle has.
Yeah, like a really pair of cheap supermarket sunglasses.
Yeah. Look like Elton John's looking through the sight.
I like to say I've been playing this long enough to just remember when we used to have a red dot on the ARs.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah, because they really need to be more good.
That was like the best, like Skirmish 1.0 or like the rocky terrain where
Yeah.
everything was gray. That was like some of my favorite Dust moments.
Yeah, even though it was the same map every single time, everyone it was like that was that one map, and everyone's like, it was just so
There's a bee on the hill by that building that didn't even look like a building. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, you know. And I actually miss the old style design of the CRUs. They looked a bit nowadays. They just look a bit generic, but
Yeah, they do.
but that's probably just we're getting nostalgic for a beta, for God's sake.
All right, let's move on. Well, there's two things I want to talk. I want to talk plasma cannons because I actually spec'd into plasma cannons, and for a long time I was making fun of them on the show because like I thought they were terrible. And when I actually first started using them, I thought they were terrible. But Mordew's event happened. I want to talk a bit about Mordew's event because I thought it was a terrible event. I want to know other people if they just agree with me on that.
That's pretty much all the discussion that needs to be.
Yeah, it was.
Is that the one where you killed like the installations and then
Yeah, it
like
was
you hack
stupid.
things?
And
I
you
don't-
get like 50 things. It was
I
stupid.
I like free things. I like events
played-
like that.
I played reasonably enough games for that, and I didn't get nothing.
Well, I got all of them. I love
Alright, too
events
cool.
like that. I wish they had more.
I got nothing.
I don't know. Their prizes lately for everything have just been. Puh. So
You want to give me a prize that I care about? Give me a blueprint copy of a Kryn. Then I'll get happy.
I will. I'll be right back. I have to go take care of something real quick.
Okay.
Shut-
I just wanted to make the point
And they
that,
randomly gave away like those 5 hunter scouts or whatever.
oh yeah,
I don't know what that was. They wanted us to try them out or something. I'm not sure for what, but
I'm
I
just
feel like
keeping
this,
them
the
because they
scout
sound
could use a
cool.
little bit of a buff. Yeah,
Mm.
they do.
Plus, they're interesting to walk around in the lobby in.
Yeah, every time I get like 5 or 10 of a limited edition thing, I'm like, wow, I can walk around in a lobby with this.
Yeah, well, there's some nice looking suits. You know.
Although I have to admit, like someone made the thread about AWOXing and killing people in MCCs the other day, and I just remember a great moment where a guy was sitting in an MCC AFK in a limited edition suit, and killing him with grenades was fun. And it got to the point where he stopped being AFK, like it was just me and him running around in the MCC with me trying to kill him because he refused to go out and fight people.
Oh man, they really have to do something about that.
Although I've noticed actually, you seem to not get as much skill points for AFKing as you used to. And I don't know if that's just me, but it feels like because I was doing it just to try it out and see what it actually was like. Because you can't really complain about something unless you've actually looked into it properly.
Mm. I've not done it. I've checked out the videos and stuff like that, but to me, it's just so counterintuitive. You know, you're playing the if you're taking the time and effort to boot up the game, then play it. It just seems ridiculous. I'll just boot this up and then I'll go out. What?
DS brings up a good point. In the newsletter, they don't do it all the time, I don't think, but I know that there's been a couple times where they, like it's the top right-hand corner, they say click here to redeem free items. Right now, there's a Mauler Heavy where you get 10 free suits if you log in through the site and redeem your items there. So don't forget to do that because it's 10 free suits, you know? If you're thinking about trying out a heavy or trying out something that they're promoting, it's the perfect way to do it without wasting skill points.
Like I should do that because I got a load of burn stalks for that, and I've not really used the laser weapon at all.
I wish I'd actually get that newsletter though. I think I signed up for it. I'm fairly sure I signed up for it, but I've never gotten it. I haven't gotten it recently.
Well, it usually comes out like the day after or like 2 days after an update comes out is when they usually send it out.
Okay.
Or whenever they have an event.
But yeah, there's free stuff out there. Man, I'm gonna have to track that link down and like, put it in the description now. Making me work.
I have it. I can give it to you. I'll post it on our clan page. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like Mordu event, it just seemed like there was no way to track
Yeah,
much
there was
progress
nothing. There
you've
was no.
made.
Yeah, so that's why I wasn't particularly bothered about it. With that. Oh, I didn't get anything. Well, fair enough. There was no. Again, it's just that I don't know what it is at the moment. The events that they've tried, and you got to give them credit for trying these events.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking to Ice Wolf Saber or whatever the hell his name is,
Hmm.
and he was saying that they were thinking about this event. And I was saying, yeah, it's a good idea. You should do it like you hack 10 objectives and you get some small amount of free stuff. And I saw this and I was just like, a bit too much. Like I was talking like 10 or 20 things, like something you could track pretty easily, and just like one thing for that
Yeah.
couple of days. Like 400 things you have to do in a week.
Like how much? I mean, how much time? I mean, personally, me, I spend roughly 10 to 15 hours a week with the uni stuff on top of my full-time job. Right? Of that 10 to 15 hours, literally only 5 of it is actually spent playing the bloody game. So where do they expect me to get all these 400 items to track down? And I just don't have the time for it. That's why I got passive SP points. That's why I spend Aurum on them. So I can keep up. Because there are people that have lots of SP. And obviously we don't have that in D Uni. We have very poor SP players. And but I just the events just seem to have they sound great, and then just the execution. It's literally they fail in the last 10 yards.
Yeah.
I think most of it has to do with the fact that there is no way to track it. Like if they had like something in the Neocom where it's like, hey, this is the current event and this is how close you are to reaching your goal. I think that like people are with their trophies on PSN, right? They're like, oh yeah, I got to do this so I can get this. I think that would give a little bit more initiative so that people can see what they're doing.
Yeah, well, like I say, if you've got no way of tracking it, you can't get excited about it. Oh, I only need 10 of them. Whereas with the SP, people get excited about the fact that, I mean, me personally, I'm using the double SP to get assault rifle proficiency 5 at the moment, and I'm counting down the SP. I've got less than 200,000 to go. And I go, yay! I'm gonna, having something to aim for and seeing your progress towards it is how you engage people. If you just say, oh, if you do all this, you'll get some stuff, but you've got no way of tracking it, then why should you put the effort in to have a tally chart next to you and just cross it all off?
That's what we did. Yeah, we ran it as like a corp event, and then we all had like a piece of paper sitting in front of us, and we'd kill a blaster, mark one down, and we just like grinded like that to get the event done.
Exactly. You're having to use a piece of pen and paper. That basically sums it up.
Yeah, like what is this? The 80s?
I'll take issue with that. Even a Sinclair 8 ZX Spectrum could count.
If they did it through the Neocom too, or even just like promoted it some way through that, like how many people? I know that a lot of people go through the forums and they like spread the word when they talk to people after they've seen on the forums and stuff like that. But I think there's a large amount of the player base that really does all their communication through the game itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even just telling you when you reach the 100 mark.
Yeah, just a flashing thing on the screen. But then again, there's so much right with the game, and there's so much wrong with it. And what's so wrong with the game is just a really piddly small, which is what annoys a lot of the player base. It's just the piddly pissant shit that really shouldn't have to be dealt with. I mean, the fact that how long has it been now that we've had the orbital bombardment notification has just been slightly bigger lettering than the normal kill feed. You should have a klaxon going off and telling you. There
should be a tally mark, really.
Yeah.
Although I won't really go into why that should be a thing.
But
we were discussing about that earlier, but
yeah,
we won't bring that up because that I will talk about that when the time comes.
Yeah.
That.
But yeah, like I said, it's just those small little things that bug people. That it's like the mail. They still haven't fixed the mail yet, so that people press X by default on a PlayStation 3, and all of a sudden they've just replied to a court mail, which is then sent out to everyone else, and everyone's like, "Oh God!"
Yeah, I hate the fact that X isn't for edit.
Exactly.
Because when I reply to someone in game, I've just sent them their message back.
Yeah, what it should be circle to finish whatever you're doing, and then X to, are you sure you want to send this? And you go, yes. Now it's
I'm back, by the way. I can't get my camera to work. I'm fiddling with it right now. I just want to delete all mail button. I think I've said that on here before, but that would make things so much easier.
Just as a side note, can anyone here beat 84 notifications in an hour period?
I think VD after drunk night last week.
Because that's what I get. That's what I get every day.
Yeah, apparently she was being very flirtatious with very many people.
Oh God. I got 6 numbers that night though.
Get it, girl.
Do people still say that? Get it, girl?
Hey, you know what?
He does.
Hey, if I say it, yeah,
it's that charm, yeah.
It's that charm, man. Can't
yeah,
help
like
it.
it's just a pissant little piddly things that
Yeah.
people. If they're going through this whole iteration of getting the basics right, then do that stuff first. Really, surely it can't be so game breaking for them to alter it. Just like I said, just to delete all, just a simple delete all or mark all as read email notification would just solve so many people's problems.
And make sure you don't put that on X.
Yeah, don't put it on X. Don't do
If
that.
you really don't want to just go into your mail every time and just ooh, I just deleted everything.
It's like, oh, God, that would be a nightmare. But now you've said it, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, if they just put like a confirm delete all instead of just doing it, then at least you could, stop yourself if they did.
Well, you couldn't, clearly, because you'd just be drunk, but anyone else would think about it.
I actually function pretty well as a drunk. I just can't walk. I'm not a good drunk walker.
But yeah, like I said, it's just the little things that bug me. The balancing things. I will freely admit I am not the guy to talk to about what should be done to make things balance and stuff like that. I'm the guy that actually has to run a corporation, so stuff that of this size that I've got. So anything that makes my job easier would be, you would think, by default, going to make everyone's job easier. And it's just how excited was I when we got a court mail, and then now I want them to be able to delete it.
Yeah, I think CCP should definitely be talking to you and whoever leads Bojo about the new player thing, because I think with how many new players y'all have coming in, like just constantly having.
I mean, I've got no way of testing how many of the alts, but we currently have some.
Right.
But
either way, y'all probably have rough estimate 500 people that have started in the last 2 months. That's just a wild guess thrown out there.
Really? Oh, right. Okay. We get 40 to 50 applications a day.
Okay, so y'all probably have a shit ton of people that just started. Like, I think if they just came up with a way, like if they gave you a survey for you to send out to, I don't know, we'll say 150 of your new guys, for them to give feedback on the new player experience and tell say things that they would like to see.
Well, yeah.
And then they could actually use the feedback to build something that the new players actually want to see, because they keep talking to veterans and we don't remember. Well,
Exactly.
I don't really remember what it's like to be a new guy.
I get all the stuff from the new guys. I'm the one that they talk to about it, and it sounds really mean to say it, but at the moment, as far as I can make it out, the new player experience in Dust is join Dust University.
Yep. I spam my YouTube channel and your corporation in my local chat just about every day, trying to get new people to go. So you might have a few guys that
So if you're responsible for my 84 notifications, I'm fine. It's not that I don't mind deleting it, because it's a sign that we're doing something right and people are joining us and enjoying the experience. But it's just, give me the tools, CP. Just give me them, and we can do so much more. I think I've told the story before, but I mean, when I did the office tour, when I won the office tour at FanFest, CCP Navigator was the guy that was showing us around, and obviously he's more Eve side. And I was explaining, this was before Uprising came with the court mail, I was explaining to him how for the previous 8 months, how I had to do a court mail. And he's just looking at me as if I was from planet Zardos. It's like, because obviously he's on the Eve side, so he doesn't know the intricacies of Dust, but I was explaining how I had to make the email, then send it to myself, copy paste it, then click 50 members at a time, copy and paste it to them, and then click another 50 people, and I was having to do that 16, 17 times. That was just with 300 people, so I was like, just give me the tools. Really, I think I've done the effort now. Make my life easy, please.
Okay, well, let's move on a bit. I'll do some happier stuff first, because I don't really want to talk about the tournament after that note.
Boo.
Yeah, we'll be getting very down on
1.4, there's been some stuff announced for 1.4. Though none of it really comes to mind. The only thing that comes to mind is we're getting new sights on the laser, which looks really nice.
Right now.
We've got I believe we've got the aiming fixes.
Yes!
I think they're doing a aim assist is gonna.
Yeah,
the aiming in general is getting better.
And then they've got the matchmaking. So we're going to find the fruits of Nullabor's calculation work. And there's some general other stuff. I've heard rumor that there's some content coming, but no one's saying shit. So all I know is that people at CCP are very excited about 1.4 for some reason. They're very keen to hear everyone's feedback when it eventually gets released.
My fingers are crossed for a heavy suit.
So maybe we're going to finally get some more of the full racial suit variants coming in. We've seen the pictures of the Imitar Heavy and stuff like that, so maybe that's coming in. But it'd just be nice to have something new. But like I said, those are the two main things that I know of: the aiming, and the matchmaking.
Corporation tax is another one.
Corp tax is another one.
Is that definitely 1.4?
Corp tax is, I think. I don't. Orbital mechanics. I mean.
Well, now they're talking about orbital mechanics, aren't they?
Yeah, they're talking about it. Knowing Fox4 though, like he can build orbital mechanics in like a couple of days. He does seem to do that kind of thing.
He does seem to have that ability, and well done to you, Fox4, if you're watching. You just seem to be a ninja with that sort of stuff. And Nullarbor. In fact, Team True Grit are probably my favourite team at the moment.
Everybody's favourite team.
Plus, of course, Nullarbor has that fantastic suit that he wears on the pub crawl. So he's got to get kudos for that.
I haven't seen the suit, but I'm sure someone has pictures somewhere.
It's a tiger skin suit. You're intrigued already. You can tell that.
Okay. I mean, if someone wants to give me pictures,
the pictures are in the FanFest gallery, I think, on the website. But yeah, it's bitching. It's a lovely furry suit. The girls seem to like it. You can forget your charm, DS. That's all you need is a furry leopard tiger skin suit, and the girls seem to dig that.
Can we get confirmation from VD on this?
VD and tiger skin.
Oh God.
Well, she's giggling a lot about it, so yeah, we'll take that as yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, one thing I wanted to mention is a new hire at CCP for Dust, which was
Logibro.
Logibro.
Mm.
And I have to say, I'm very impressed with the work he's been doing so far.
Yeah, he's
Well,
definitely
obviously in a
doing more
previous...
than the other one. I'm not gonna name any names, but there's somebody that doesn't even pay attention to Dust.
A certain tweet saying to follow my non-CCP Twitter account because I tweet all of my stuff from there. All that
Yeah.
being a thing.
Check out how much Dota I play. Sorry, it's just fucking stupid.
No comment. No comment.
Yeah.
We'll avoid that kind of worms. But thoughts on Logibro so far?
Yeah. Obviously, in a she's blurted it out now. The secret's out. No one knew.
Yeah, because he totally didn't tweet that he was in Iceland like the day before it was announced.
Really? Really? You're back in Iceland so soon after FanFest? Really? Why would that be? But
I
yeah,
can't find anything on 1.4. Sorry,
sorry.
I'm trying to find stuff on 1.4. Seeing
good
if we can
man.
get anything.
I
But,
wish we had more stuff about patches before they announced them. That would be great.
There's something called patch notes.
Yeah, that would be nice. Although they haven't actually finished yet. There's still
Yeah.
like stuff coming. But there's new aiming mechanics. I'm really looking forward to my mouse not sucking as much as it does. And I'm sure there's like 12 people out there looking forward to new move controls, which are apparently coming as well.
Awesome. I'm trying very hard to suppress my excitement over that.
Apparently they're really good for flying dropships for some reason. Because I think you use the actual move to balance out the dropship, and I don't know. I really don't know. I don't.
You're
own a
really
move.
you're really saying that this is how you fly the dropship, and you just
like you just
hold
like
your hand
hold
like
the
that.
thing like that, and that's how it moves about. That actually sounds pretty fun, but
Well, yeah, but it sounds like there's no skill.
well, it's not like it's good for anything else.
That's true. I think literally it's a very small Venn diagram, isn't it, for the move users on Dust? Because there's the people who've got the Harry Potter Book of Spells there, and then there's the people who play Dust there, and then just a little bit there. I think that's literally the only people I've ever heard of who have the move for any reason is the Harry Potter Book of Spells, which apparently is very good. But
I may have to do some kind of like charity marathon or something at some point where I'm just playing Dust with the move for like 12 hours.
are you prepared to let your kill-death ratio go down that low?
Dude, I don't care about my KD ratio.
Good.
Back when we were doing the Caldari Prime event, I would lose on purpose if I was on the side I didn't want to win. And I just lemming into the enemy team over and over and over. So I don't care about KD ratio. There's more important things.
That's something I keep drubbing into our students. As far as I'm concerned, if you're a Logibro and your war points are through the roof, your KDR's naff, then it means you're just doing your job right. So I think I would be quite happy if they got rid of KDR altogether, because I think it's a meaningless statistic.
I think people like it though. There are some people that like it. Those people are
PC elitists.
I was just like, should I drop this bomb? No, I think I've said enough controversial shit so far.
I don't think you've said enough. Carry on.
Okay, plasma cannon is the best weapon in the game because it one-shots people in proto gear. Even like just with the normal one, I love the plasma cannon. It's like the one good thing about the Mordu event was it's the only thing which can target neutral installations that isn't a forge gun. I was trying the fucking swarm launcher, and I'm like, oh, this kills installations really, really fast, because swarm launchers scale amazingly well up to, like, advanced and pro. And then I'm like, oh, there's neutral installations, I'll just, I don't know, hack them, I guess.
Don't lock them.
which is kind of annoying. I'd love to hear the explanation as to why that is. Plasma cannon hits them, so. And yeah, I just used the plasma cannon throughout the entire Mordu's event, and then I was like, wow, this isn't a bad weapon. It just, you need to play with it for 40 hours before you can actually like use it properly. I love my spud launcher.
DS is talking and we can't hear him.
Really?
Yeah. Either
I
that.
was muted.
Yeah. Either that. It was either that or he was talking to the voices in his head.
I was gonna say there's another thing that I would really like to see implemented. It would probably be in 1.5 if it was to be implemented because it has to do with vehicles. There needs to be a kick all passengers button for your vehicles that you own.
I can agree with that.
Because you get out of the vehicle, you're done with your vehicle.
Yeah.
Why should it be up to a teammate that you don't even know to hop out? I don't know why I just said that right there. I should probably go put that in like the feedback area of the forums or whatever the hell.
It's a good idea though.
Yeah.
I mean, you could,
I gotta use my charm though.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could fly into the enemy red line and press that button, but
I'd rather not lose it.
I'm just gonna go turn the light on in my room.
And then the war points for hopefully they can figure out some way to do war points for hacking vehicles and destroying equipment. I think it'd be easy to implement a cap on that so they could prevent boosting, kind of like they did with the nanite injectors and
dropship logistics
and your repair modules and stuff. Yeah. So
for those who don't know why the skill cap actually exists, it didn't used to back in beta, and then people used logistic dropships to fly up and repair MCCs, and there wasn't a triage point cap back then either, so you would generate like what, 250,000 skill points a match, something like that.
Yeah, well, that was back in the days where even if you weren't doing that, you were still getting 120,000 SP for a match. But I think they deliberately accelerated the SP curve in the early part of the beta, so everyone could start getting into the proto-gear stuff pretty quickly, and they could get the data.
Yeah.
But obviously, not going to do that anymore.
Oh.
Damn it! Damn it!
But yeah, I'm going to split the recording actually because we've been going for about an hour and we have a couple more topics to touch on. So
and then DS can find out more about 1.4.
Yeah, I mean we've got PC and the tournament to talk about. So
yeah, we need to stop slitting our wrists over the tournament. Bye.
Right, so we'll be back.